The best female athletes we have in women's doubles. Game one upon us now. Best 3 out of 4 and a 5th if we must. First point of game one will go to the mat drops. What a shot by Catherine Parenteau. Shrugs it out. Oh, just kidding. It was out. Shrugged it off. Might not go for it. Vivian Glozman.
Oh, she got it.
And a fluffer put away for Rachel Rohrabacher. Just put it to the right spot, but Glozman has been dominant on that two-handed counter.
Yeah, she's been super powerful. She got a lot of reach, a lot of leverage. We're going to be seeing that a lot this match. I think Catherine's definitely going to be careful of Vivian Glozman down the line. She's going to be, lighting up her backhand really big. I think she's got to be careful about leaning in too hard and getting caught.
Thing is a weapon right at the body of Catherine Parenteau and an early 3-point lead on the side of DC.
4-1.
LA takes it right back. So 3 matches left total for the Mad Drops. That means 12 points are on the line, are available for them to claim. That means if they were to finish perfect, they would have 38 points in the standings. That would be 4 better than DC if DC did not win at all the rest of the tournament. There's a little margin of error in there.
It's not easy when not only you have to win in regulation, you kind of have to be perfect the rest of this tournament, but also you have to rely on another team to lose, to kind of lose all of their matches as well. So there's a couple things that have to happen, but not impossible.
As for DC, their schedule upcoming. New Jersey and Arizona, not easy matches. What a play by Rachel Rohrabacher attacking Jade Kawamoto on her way up to the kitchen. So you've got New Jersey, a team that desperately wants regulation wins to leapfrog St. Louis. That play from Vivian Glozman. Attacks left, then goes right.
Yeah, Catherine's definitely going to have to be careful there, like I said before. Vivian Glozman just completely winds up, super powerful. Definitely a dangerous spot to keep picking on.
Wow, Catherine Parenteau catches it. What is going on with the battle down the line right now for Glozman?
Glozman's really leaning in and just kind of trusting herself. She's not backing up off the kitchen line, and she's actually reaching into the kitchen very well, which is able to allow her to capitalize on any kind of floating ball that Catherine gives her. Another one. Again and again, she just keeps reaching in with that one-handed backhand. She has a lot of reach. She's one of the taller women on tour for sure.
World Championships on the PPA side to conclude it. What a week.
Yeah, it's something you definitely don't want to miss. If you can be there in person, that's ideal. There's going to be a lot of country stars, Morgan Evans, just a massive list of some awesome things going on.
That was a swift drop volley from Jade Kawamoto.
4-10.
We've got our own Morgan Evans in the Major League Pickleball community.
Yeah.
GM of the Arizona Drive.
11-4.
Funny story, Morgan Evans was on Necker Island during the first pickleball kind of cup that they had there. They do the Necker Cup with tennis, and last year was the first time with pickleball, and Morgan Evans was there with us. And coming back, I was telling the story, oh, Morgan Evans was performing, he was singing for us, it was great. And every single pickleball player that I told thought it was Morgan Evans, the coach. And they're like, man, I didn't know he was like that talented. I knew he can dance and have a talented guy, but I mean, I actually was talking to Thomas Wilson about that, and it took probably 10 different explanations, and I brought the story up so many times, and he still thought I was thinking about the pickleball coach.
That's awesome. DC, 13-5 lead at the end change. Jackie Kawamoto, the twin of Jade, getting some nutrients in and watching her twin right now in a bit of a hole here in Miami. We'll be right back. DC, full domination. If their playoff hopes stay intact, they are directly behind the DC pickleball team, who has had a bit of a troublesome tournament. Still in the playoffs, though. Nicely done by Catherine Parenteau. Rachel Rohrabacher popped that one up right in the strike zone to Catherine Parenteau.
6-13.
Down to the feet of Vivian Glozman goes Catherine Parenteau. She loves that forehand roll out of the air.
7-13.
Wow. Great sequence by Jade Kawamoto.
And she's just so good at pulling the trigger to be offensive, and just like that, turning around, having super good hands, super soft resets.
Yeah, such discipline to make choices in the middle of a sequence.
Yeah, you don't have a lot of time. It's pretty fast reflexes.
Ooh, crafty lob, like the choice, just a bit too long. Rachel Rohrabacher trying to get LA off the kitchen, where Jade Kawamoto is causing some damage. DC responds off the vocals of Rachel Rohrabacher. Parents are in town to support. Wow, cannot go there on Vivian Glozman. She has that two-hander dialed in.
Yeah, she's being a lot more offensive than most right side players.
Yeah.
Usually right side is kind of passive, kind of your job is to make a lot of balls, set up your partner. But she's doing a great job using her length and just kind of playing her strengths right now.
It is full send for Glozman on the right on cue, to your point. And Rachel Rohrabacher, you don't have to ask her to initiate. That's a natural intangible she possesses.
Wow, right off the tip with the
Nice.
paddle.
Ignatowich and Kyle McKenzie, full smiles on their side of the bench. That was slick from Vivian Glozman.
Who says you need to hit it in the middle of the paddle? Just use it all. DC is doing a phenomenal job right now of just picking their chances, speeding up and attacking whenever possible.
And DC just eliminated any sense of momentum that LA was starting to generate.
19-9.
Yeah, it doesn't quite seem like Mad Drops can kind of find their rhythm. DC's doing a good job of moving the ball around and not really letting them get any momentum.
Wow, well played by Rohrabacher, making it look difficult for a very good defensive player in Jade Kawamoto. Into the net again for LA. DC just fully taking over. 3 points, and this game one is theirs.
Side out, right 10. 10-22. Side out, right 23.
These are shots that Jade is
Doesn't
rarely
usually-
missing.
Doesn't usually miss them.
No.
though. I think DC is just putting so much pressure on them. It's really hard to kind of break that momentum once the other team kind of gains that. And I mean, DC has done a great job of just staying on them.
Just wide, and DC takes the first 25-10. Wow, that was a remarkable performance for Rachel Rohrabacher and Vivian Glozman. The ownership group consider them impressed.
All these guys are locked in on the points and the standings, and you know they definitely know what's at stake. You know, it's not easy. The Mad Drops losing that first women's match, but hey, anything can happen. Let's see what happens.
Point one upon us now in game two. And right away, Dekel Bar attacking the right foot of AJ Koller. A little miscommunication in the middle, perhaps. James Ignatowich back to serve. He loves to hop. Maybe he doesn't love it, but it's part of his success in moving his feet, he says.
The Energizer Bunny.
Good response from AJ Koller, who's been around the game for a long time, one of the OGs of the sport. And the game has evolved quite a bit since AJ Koller's entrance into it.
So also, it's interesting. I think yesterday we saw Dekel was on the left, James was on the right. We've been seeing that all season. They've kind of been switching it up depending on maybe the day or the matchup. But the good thing is, you know, things start going wrong, they can switch up at any time, keep it fresh. They're both fully capable. They're both more comfortable on the left, but I think they're both more than capable on both sides.
DC 1-1-1 on the tournament. One regulation win, one regulation loss, one Dreambreaker loss. For a team that's so strong, that's an unusual outing for them. Great put away from AJ Koller, looking to save his team's season. And a lot of misses right now on DC's side. Is it the side switch, perhaps, or just user error on both accounts?
Yeah, user error. I think the Mad Drops have come up with a couple great drives and putaways. And you know, it's the first couple points of the match, trying to get the bad ones out as quick as possible and try to lock in.
goes again. The fingertips of AJ Koller.
6-2.
Rarely do you see DC vulnerable, especially in men's doubles. And how about that drive from the middle of the court? Hunter Johnson with a clean winner.
I'd like to say I taught him that.
There you go. Hunter Johnson broke into the top 8 in men's singles. He will be at the PPA final in December. It's a big accomplishment for a player that was 27 to start the year.
I think even lower than that.
Yeah, probably.
Maybe in the 40s.
Yeah, good point.
We weren't playing a lot of PPAs last year.
Wow, what a pull. AJ Koller from the ankles. Next to no windup either.
Yeah, that was a great pull. He kind of showed he was going line there for a little bit. Went the opposite way. Dekel was sitting forehand. That's another big thing with Hunter being on the left. It kind of, or being on the right. Sorry, it takes away that drive as we saw before. AJ, they've discussed it. AJ slides out of the way for Hunter to take that forehand in the middle, even though he's on the right. I think it's a good strategy.
Yeah. Why is that the better strategy?
Well, I mean, if by Hunter not being on the left, you have that forehand in the middle, and so as long as they're communicating and AJ's giving them the okay, AJ can kind of move out of the way, circle his way, to the net, and Hunter's able to kind of put that ball anywhere and try to set up AJ if he can sneak in.
Whoo. Look out for your life and your eyes. Hunter Johnson got out of the way. That was coming fast. He's got a wicked drive, does Hunter. Ooh. Wow. Great recovery from Dekel Bar on a wicked angle from Johnson, and then AJ Koller starts to cook.
Buttery hands by AJ there, just taking that power and just completely resetting it right in the kitchen.
Oh, that's the one he misses. Wow. Great defensive play to the backhand side. When AJ Koller is rolling, he is a great player.
Yeah,
he's locked in. He's making good decisions.
He's one of the most dangerous players in the game. I think he's got such good wrist strength and his flick. And, when he's on, I mean, he can beat anyone.
Just back on the lob attempt of Dekel Bar. Mat drops on their way to a prominent lead at the end change. Whoa, wow. Hunter Johnson twice to the backhand, fending off BB's 13-5 lead for the LA Mat Drops.
I mean, that's a new one. I don't see him do that much in practice, but
hey, don't throw him under the bus like that.
He must be practicing something.
Look at this little cutie in Miami. Great atmosphere today in the Miami-Dade Fairgrounds. And that's a spark of ignition potentially for James Ignatowich. They only need a little bit of momentum to go. So keep your eye on that. See how LA adjusts. LA seemed to be the aggressor for the first half of game 2, keeping Ignatowich and Bar on their heels. More on the defensive than the offensive.
Oh. Boy, that was a big shot. That could have hit him in the family jewels. Don't let that happen, please. I want some nieces and nephews someday.
Wow. Good duck and great pressure from Hunter Johnson, forcing the issue. And James Ignatowich, who is typically so good at defending his body.
Well, the defense from the Mad Drops have been pretty impressive. They're able to switch from defense to offense pretty quick as well. Also, biggest thing against DC is that the matchups are doing well is they're getting the ball to bounce in the kitchen. They're not really giving Dekel and James, kind of anything out of the air to speed up, which is definitely their strength.
That's a heavy angle from AJ Koller. He's able to do crafty things out there on the court. What a roll for the LA Mad Drops. About their best player, Thomas Wilson. Heavy roll from Dekel Bar, but this team is dangerous at any point. Don't count DC out of it at any score line. Rally scoring can allow for a lot of runs and chaos to occur.
Wow. A little unlucky, but the Mad Drops will definitely take that. Nice little free gift.
17-9.
Wow. Another great dodge by the Mad. Looking good at this point in the match. If they can tie it up and somehow find a way to get 2 mixed doubles wins, they're in serious contention to break into the top 6. Wouldn't that be a story?
Yeah, this match right here would be huge momentum going into mixed. And we see now Dekel Bar and James Ignatowich switching sides. Why not,
18.
Yeah, which yesterday you thought Ignatowich might be better suited on the left, but not such luck in this one, at least. That's nice from James Ignatowich. Creates the pop-up chance, pulling Hunter Johnson out wide. Not much AJ Koller could do about that one. Fumbled return on a big serve from Dekel Bar, and here come DC.
12-18.
I think this is probably how DC should have started. I think Dekel is more comfortable on the left. He can kind of use his length more. He can come over and take that forehand in the middle. James is obviously amazing at that as well, but I think James could be one of the best right side guys as well if he really sank into that position. Obviously, he's so good on the left, but I think this is a dangerous setup they have here.
Well, that was part of the reason that the partnership with Tyson McGuffin didn't go as planned for them, with James not really fully embracing or feeling comfortable with that right side roll. So it's tough to change it up, as you know.
My goodness.
Oh, excellent points from all parties.
The defense from Hunter has been pretty incredible. He likes the left, but he's pretty rock solid on the right. Maybe when I play with him, I gotta play on the left. He plays on the right. Mix it up.
Talking with him yesterday, he says he likes the right. Wow.
He says, I don't need to take that forehand in the middle. I'll just take the backhand.
21-14.
Oh, that was closer than I thought, but what a play by Ignatowich, throwing in some off-speed, tempting AJ Koller.
You know, also going back to switching sides, I think sometimes, you know, if you're not on your comfortable side like James or like Dekel was feeling maybe in the beginning, sometimes you have that looming thought in the back of your mind of, you know, being a little uncomfortable and wanting to go back to that comfort.
Great get by Dekel. Oh! And it lined up. Miscalculated it. 22-15. The LA Mad Drops are 3 points away from tying it up 1 game apiece.
You know, we talked about AJ when he locks in, how dangerous he is. He is locked in right now. Oh.
And this level of competition will bring out the best in you. Dekel Bar and James Ignatowich, 2 of the best in the game.
22.
Just wide for Dekel off the tape. Mad Drops 2 points away.
Side out, point 23. 23-16. Side out, point 17.
To be a little unneeded in this situation. You're not usually going to force an error on the serve.
23.
Kind of a high-risk play. And a great answer back by AJ Koller following that missed serve.
Game point for the Mad Drops to stay in the match and to keep their playoff hopes intact. This would be massive. Just wide on the serve for Hunter, trying to hug up on that tee. James Ignatowich back to serve now to Hunter Johnson, and the team in green will have to win it on their serve. That's deep on the big third shot drive from Dekel Bar. Game point number 2, LA.
24-18.
Hunter Johnson closes out game 2 on his terms. A flying volley out of the air, 25-18. And the playoff hope still alive for the LA Mad Drops.
My goodness, very, very impressive.
For DC, if they can just push it to a dream breaker, they're in great shape. So the goal here, both sides a little bit different, but urgency a little bit higher on the side of the Mad Drops, who are chasing DC, trailing by 8 standing points. Game 3 upon us now. Hunter Johnson making a big entrance to the point.
Hunter's been rock solid on that, on that one-handed backhand counter all day. His defense has just been on.
1-1.
That big serve from Dekel Bar, Big D.
2-1.
That's deep 2 on the third for Dekel Bar.
2-2.
Sometimes that power can't be contained. That's nice. I mean, as much power as Dekel Bar possesses, he also does have a lot of that control over his pace, over his placement.
Yeah, you know, he's usually a pretty good dinker. He uses the ball. He kind of gets the ball around the kitchen area. He can kind of hit it anywhere. But super, super deceptive, especially with that length. He's able to kind of speed up a lot of balls that most other players aren't. I think the biggest game plan for LA is they probably got to just hit more dinks to Vivian Glozman, make her play, make her come up with something.
Look how far over Hunter came to rip his thirds. Even AJ gets out of his way to let him command the center of the court. And another one. Why is it so hard? You've played that forehand many times, Yates. What's impressive about it?
6-3.
You know, there's just a lot of action. He's super loose on it. You know, he drives it through the court with a lot of pace, but usually it's that spin. You know, even if you hit it at 80%, it's going right over the net and it's dipping down just enough to be not where you're expecting it.
almost got in the way of the crossfire. A masterful point by Hunter Johnson, who
little matrix move there.
calls it out. Confirms it did not hit any part of his body. Look at this again. ATP, beautiful defense from Jade.
7-3.
It's dodging bullets out
That
here.
was a millimeter away.
Wow.
Hunter Johnson has been the X factor for his team today. Brought a lot of energy from the start of the men's doubles game. Great performance by AJ too.
Yeah, with Thomas Wilson out, he's kind of stepped into that alpha role and just able to, I think it's been really good for him. He's had a lot of matches this year against a lot of really, really good teams, really, really good players, the top in the world, and it's kind of just been able to allow him to showcase what he's got and step up and kind of just raise his level.
Hunter Johnson was the 39th overall pick out of 48 players. Testing in there, Vivian Glozman maybe gets away with one.
5-9.
Down it goes off the setup for Vivian Glozman. Dekel Bar praising his partner for the setup.
Yeah, we've seen that a lot from DC today, that kind of setup where
6-9.
they're forcing them to dink to Viv Glozman. Viv Glozman leans in, pulls the trigger, and Dekel's there ready to clean it up.
The more aggressive she can be in a controlled manner, the better for DC. A bit of every flavor in that point. Great, calm, poised defense from Jade Kawamoto. She makes it look easy. She, of course, very familiar with this DC franchise. Won a title with them in November of 23. Wow, so good on the third shot. Drive from Hunter Johnson. Looks like he has strings on that paddle.
I was going to say, he should have taken that ball out of the air. He was a little slow to it, but that thing had a lot of spin, which produced the topspin for him to get that ball down in the middle.
Point on the side of DC.
7-11.
Jade and Hunter have had some great wins together over the course of the year. I believe they took out the Johnson siblings earlier in the season in Atlanta to start the year.
Ben Johns a couple times.
Yep.
A lot of really, really good wins.
Great pressure from Dekel Bar. Throws his hands in the air like this is the way we should be playing the whole time. Feels like this game should be theirs.
8-12.
Wow, Jade's defense. No way. Oh my, the hero of the point, Jade Kawamoto. Lighting things up on defense.
She's back.
She
Ooh, and
is-
the ball, yep, barely out.
Yep, close call replay is on it. 13-8 lead for the Mad Drops at the end. Hunter Johnson and Jade Kawamoto putting on a show for us today. Just a bit wide for Dekel Bar. Great decision not to touch it by Kawamoto.
Side out. 29.
Johnson wanted that one. Tell by the reaction. 2 matches left after this one for both teams. Busy event for these two. Hunter Johnson was forced to fight fire with fire, instigated by Vivian Glozman, testing her limits.
A little bit of lack of communication there in the middle, but Ad drops
10-14.
almost scrapped their way out of that one.
Side out point 15. 15-10.
What a get. Oh, man. Full extension both sides for Hunter Johnson. He comes up with some wild plays. That's why he and Thomas Wilson were so fun to watch there in men's doubles. The two of them and the plays they could come up with.
11-15.
Unmatched. Dekel Bar and Vivian Glozman back within 4. This game is back in reach for DC.
Got to be careful on that one. Viv Glozman that's a very dangerous spot to go.
Yeah, and she was on it. Great read by Glozman. Engaged.
12-15.
Read it perfectly.
She did a great job of moving back as well, giving herself a little more space, a little more time, kind of read that flick from Hunter.
Great coverage across the board by DC. Johnson, tall task on this return. Wow, patiently waiting for his moment to put it away. Hunter Johnson with another beautiful setup.
16-13.
Johnson was camped and waiting for it on his forehand.
Dekel Bar with that kind of shot he has, it looks like he's going to go line or dink it, and he just kind of hits that side spin shot. But Hunter's seen that a couple times now. Watch. Holding it in a little pancake shot he has. Mad Drops have got to be careful not to overplay here. Just kind of try to find that rhythm that they had in the beginning and try to ride that wave.
Wow, great setup by Glozman. Shake and bake. Dekel Bar loves it. And she's choosing the right times to do it, too, because that's half the battle for the female side of mixed, is knowing your targets, when to do it, feeling for those moments.
Also, just her defense. She's just making a lot of balls off of some pretty aggressive shots coming from the Mad Drops. She's just kind of making them hit that extra ball. She's actually dropping really well, allowing herself to come in. And she's capitalizing on those high dinks for sure.
Dekel Bar commands the courts and the attention of the audience.
A lot of power coming from that DC side.
16-18.
Uh-oh. Wow. On full defense, Jade Kawamoto somehow gets over it and creates some offense on her own.
I love how Jade, she anchors down. She really just makes that extra ball over the net. But you know, notice she kind of stops moving and she's able to turn it into offense, you know, without backing up too much.
And wind incoming. Wow, Hunter Johnson wins the backhand battle and cues the crowd to 2016. Mat drops.
Yeah, you know, there's a little wind out here as well. The wind is in the Mad Drop's face, so I kind of like their play right now. They're not trying to hit perfect drops. They're just kind of hitting those kind of drive drops, just getting that ball, you know, kind of poking it over the net, making an extra shot for DC.
Jade Kawamoto and Hunter Johnson they have been playing sensational here in Miami. They have Rachel Rohrabacher and James Ignatowich. But why not keep this playoff hope alive for a little bit longer? That's one way to come out of the timeout. Great response from Vivian Glozman after chatting with her team. Kyle McKenzie, great coach of this group, great ownership group. Al Tylis at the bench.
Wow, great speed from Jade Kawamoto. I think she made a couple great dinks there. She saw that DC was maybe a little off balance, so great trigger pull there.
I had the chance to chat with Kyle McKenzie about the Kawamotos last year when DC was in for their title run, and so impressed with the Kawamoto's ability to create offense from out of nowhere. Little switcheroo for LA. And Vivian Glozman tests the backhand of Hunter. What's the rationale there?
I mean, she's doing a great job of just leaning in and you know, instead of most right side players are trying to, you know, deceive the person in front of them going line, but I like that she's pulling the trigger kind of cross court. It allows her to go into the body of the person on the right side. And it's not always the easiest ball to defend. It's coming into you, and if you don't slide, you're getting bagged right in the chest. Also, Viv Glozman, I think, if you're noticing, she's not really letting a lot of dinks hit the ground. She's really leaning in, taking the ball out of the air. I think that's giving the Mad Drops a little less time.
Great lob from Glozman. Ooh, sneaky back.
Lobbing the big man.
Wow. How in the world did Jade Kawamoto get that lob over that big of a guy in Dekel Bar?
Wow, that point had everything. 2 lobs, defense, offense, great hands, great resets. Unbelievable.
That's a great point for Vivian Glozman. Both sides doing a nice job moving each other around a bit at the kitchen. You can see the patterns evolve. Glozman's been on the wing, moving her feet every single sequence. Jade is so good at moving around her targets. Dekel Bar takes over, punishes Hunter Johnson.
That was quite the statement. DC somehow squeezed their way out of that one. Dekel was all the way over to the right side, right in front of Viv Glozman. She still got the ball cross court. Great set of shots.
And right back at it. LA takes back a game point, 24-20. All the pressure on the return of Vivian Glozman. And into the net it goes. LA takes the third, 25-20. They are one game away from keeping those playoff hopes intact and heading. Well, looky here. AJ playing the right. Catherine Parenteau playing the left in mixed. Curious about that strategic choice since AJ likes the left so much.
Yeah, this is an interesting play. I'm not quite sure the strategy here. Maybe just to have the guys in front of each other. AJ's got super fast hands. So does James Ignatowich. Maybe just to neutralize, kind of James speeding up down the line. Wondering if he internally agrees with this decision to play the right. We'll see. Great spot for Rachel Rohrabacher. This is one of the toughest mixed doubles teams to beat. Rachel and James Ignatowich. Yeah, Rachel is just super rock solid. She also can turn that defense into offense. And then with James on the other side with the forehand in the middle and his speed up ability with the two hands off the ground and his one-handed backhand flick and his power, I mean, they're a great combination team. 3-1 lead early for DC. Somewhat of a must-win situation on both sides. Maybe a little bit more must-win for the Mad Drops, for sure. I'm not digging this AJ on the right situation personally. That's my opinion. Maybe it counts for nothing, but I think he's much better suited on the left and mixed. Yeah, I mean, if I was them right now, especially like if it's starting to inch away, you tried it. Maybe it's not working as well. Maybe just switch sides again. Goodness. Nothing was dropping for DC. An immediate challenge, I think we have. No challenge. James just saying that it was out. Yeah, saw it too. I don't think that one was close. It's tough. James is not really the guy you want to get into a hands battle with or be testing, with that backhand counter. Just so quick, so fast. DC going off, and that's the concern for LA at this point. 7-2. Not an impossible scoreline, and AJ signaling the switch. Give him an inch and he takes a mile. James Ignatowich punishing AJ Koller, and Parenteau are now in a stack situation. I cannot figure out why that was the play for LA. And to create this kind of hole in game 4 doesn't add up for me. That's wide. I think the thought was, Catherine's comfortable on the left. She's really good on the left. Maybe just to help defend, but the problem is Rachel Rohrabacher is she's a wall. She's making every single ball, it's not really easy to speed up to her. So, I think the thought was there, but I think Rachel's just too solid. You'd rather go back to guys cross court to each other. Well, the women's game didn't go in their favor either for the Mad Drops, so that's why I would think just keep it traditional, but yeah, maybe they know something I don't. Stacking situation here for LA. Ooh.
Rohrabacher had good contact. Just let it rip into the tape. Little comeback now for LA.
5-8.
The stacking proving to be fruitful. LA climbing back within 2. After finding themselves in a 6-point hole to start game 4.
6-8.
Not too cute for AJ. Had the opening. Just shy of the tape in DC. Takes it right back. 3-point cushion to defend.
9-6.
What a play by AJ Koller, sneaking over into the right side of the court where he originally was aligned for this game.
Yeah, I mean, AJ's kind of on the taller side. He's got great reach, so, I mean, I think this is where they should have started with his forehand in the middle.
That's a great play by James Ignatowich. Bird alert in Miami. Ignatowich resides near the area. Home tournament for him. It's got to be a nice feeling at the end of the season. A lot of tournaments, a lot of miles on these legs.
It's very nice when you don't have to get on a plane. It's a short 1-hour drive.
What a shot from AJ. Just kind of plots it back to the opposite corner. Ignatowich knows that that's a ball he usually can make it to.
8-10.
Just deep. Good eye for AJ Koller. And a great block, too. Some lethal offense from DC. Chance to tie it now for the Mad Drops. What a lob from Rohrabacher. And it works. Pivotal moment to throw that into what a very smart, measured play by Rohrabacher. Saw that a lot in women's doubles in Vegas a couple of Sundays ago.
11-9.
Worked that shot in deceptively, both she and Anna Bright. AJ Koller trying to throw a lob up right back. Rohrabacher denies the attempt.
You know, I can't help but think, you know, the Mad Drops have shrunk the lead a little bit, but I can't help to think if they would have started with AJ on the left, maybe they would be leading in this situation.
And that could very well be the difference maker here in game 4. 13-9 lead now in DC. Not impossible for LA to come back from, but things are starting to look slanted in favor of the DC. Bringing it to AJ Koller and Captain Parenteau, who started with AJ on the right. Wasn't the best choice, so they switched him back to the left. And now that's deep. And the momentum evaporated from LA early, and that's, I understand trying to mix it up maybe if things weren't working to start with AJ on the left, but that could be.
Yeah, I might have put them at a disadvantage just from the start.
I keep harping on it, but in a margin that is so slim with the talent in today's game, can't afford to give up any bit of runs. What a play. Rachel Rohrabacher, so good at attacking off the bounce. Really good at hiding it too. I mean, there we saw the attack, but moments ago saw the lob too.
Yeah, she did a good job of dinking that ball down, and then seeing that it bounces, you lean in for that next one.
That is just too much talent on the paddle of James Ignatowich.
Yeah, James is absolutely lethal from that backhand side. He's just able to generate so much power, a lot of spin, very, very versatile.
That's deep. Ignatowich trying to create more offense, and man, has he been successful at that so far in this mixed doubles game. Takes a lot out of the guys in mixed. It's a big task to cover 75% of the court. Parenteau winding up, trying to create offense of her own. Like the concept of being more initiative, just maybe not the time to do it.
Yeah, I think she didn't really have many options there. That's a hard ball to kind of get down. He was maybe going for the bag right in James's chest.
Nice put away ability there for AJ Koller. Up with a miss. One step forward, a couple steps back for the mad drops. Rohrabacher and Ignatowich in the closing stretch.
Wow.
It's good. What a play from defense to offense. Catherine Parenteau hits the earning.
Not sure how Catherine was able to read that one. She saw that it did land. James was playing it. Great move getting out of the kitchen. Not an easy Ernie there. Kind of right at her face. Still able to hit that forehand volley. Great execution.
Anticipation from Rachel Rohrabacher, holding her own. AJ Koller a little impatient that time. Wide it goes. Very patient point for Parenteau and Rohrabacher. The dynamic plays of Rohrabacher. I mean, she's staying in the dink rally. She's throwing in the lobs. She's speeding it up, initiating, taking balls out of the air, dictating play.
Yeah.
Come to an end here after this match. They still have 2 more to play tomorrow. Most of the teams in the field were eliminated yesterday. That's a good way to come out of the break for Captain Parenteau. Inspired point for her. Arizona, Columbus, Utah, Orlando, and Carolina all eliminated from the playoff contention this season. That's so good from Rachel Rohrabacher.
She held that so long. AJ making a little bit move to the middle, opening up that line.
Deep on the return, and DC looks to be in good standing to forcing a dream breaker.
22-14.
No light from AJ Koller. Anything is possible in rally scoring.
15-22.
Ooh. Ignatowich beats Koller to the punch.
AJ was all over that, leaning completely into the kitchen, and James just had an answer.
The spot for Parenteau, trying to avoid giving up a game point now on the other side to DC.
16-23.
Ignatowich packs a powerful 1-2 punch and earns game point there. Looks like this one's heading to a dream breaker. We'll see.
24-16.
Rohrabacher back to serve to Parenteau. Rally scoring will continue for the mat drops. Now DC will have to win it on their serve. 1 game point saved by LA, but do they have enough real estate
17-24.
to forge a comeback? That's the question for the mat drops. That's wide.
They might need a little bit of magic here.
Well, you called it early in the match that those early points could make the difference. Burt alert, number 2, count it for James Ignatowich. Game point number 2 for DC.
24-18.
Parenteau holds off another game point. 19 points for LA. You start to feel the scoreboard pressure once they hit 20. We'll see what they can come up with here on the serve of AJ Koller. For James Ignatowich on the Ernie. Just gets it out of reach of Parenteau, who was expecting a bomb. Have another look. She was there, just falling back.
Little miscommunication there in the middle. I think she thought that maybe AJ was going to slide there.
Game point number 3 for DC. Kitchen from Rohrabacher on the block back. Will end it 25-19. Things got started in the 40s with his seating. Didn't play a ton of PPAs leading up to this year. Two for Hunter Johnson. Took home a Grand Slam title, his first title on the PPA side in his career in Atlanta. You were there. Very special moment for Hunter.
Yeah, and then he followed up with the final in Virginia Beach. I think that was another important one to kind of push him in the points race to make it to the PPA finals.
There he goes. James Ignatowich comes away with 1. Dekel Bar out for 4 points against AJ Koller. New the Dream Breaker. It's the tie break here in Major League Pickleball. Down the line ripper for AJ Koller. Fired up after that mixed doubles loss.
4-1.
Deep from Dekel, AJ Koller gets 2.
5-1.
Just a bit wide. Dekel takes 1. Rachel Rohrabacher very vocal on the sideline, trying to cheer on her team to get going, energetically speaking. Very demanding schedule to close the season. That's 2 for Dekel Bar, and AJ Koller gets 3 out of 4. Jade Kawamoto is 4th in the lineup. Catherine Parenteau comes out next against Rachel Rohrabacher. Catherine Parenteau, one of the best female singles players in the world. Right in the mix to make this year's PPA final as well. Rachel Rohrabacher doesn't play singles a ton, but when she does, she's very effective. You don't want to see her in your draw. Inside out on the backhand side of the corner. That's pretty.
4-6.
Feathery drop from Catherine Parenteau. She gets one back.
7-4.
Catherine Parenteau battles back in the final points. 2-2. Perfect split. LA stays on top by 4. Here comes Jade Kawamoto against Vivian Glozman.
8-4.
9-4 lead now for Mad Drops. Games are to 21, win by 2, and on your serve will change ends at 11. Versus Scrappy. That's how I would describe this matchup. Great play from Vivian Glozman.
You know, it's not always easy too. I mean, Viv Glozman played the mix, and she's been having to sit out, and then you have to come straight into a dream breaker. Not always easy.
Clean ball striking there for Vivian Glozman, right to the corner. Last point between these two. Then up next, it's Hunter Johnson again against James Ignatowich, who's still bouncing on the sideline for some reason.
He never stops moving.
Another point for Jade. Split situation for the ladies. Hunter Johnson got 3 out of 4 in the first round. See how James gets out of it here. Perfect close for Hunter Johnson on his way up to the kitchen. 11-6 lead for the Mad Drops as we head to the end change. Hunter looking to even the series. James looking to flip the script from what happened in the first round. That's pretty. James Ignatowich hits a beauty of a winner.
Yeah, that's one of those shots that can kind of be a turn, that missed overhead from Hunter.
9-11.
Now Dekel Bar up to the task to close the 2-point gap. Wow, beautiful. Right back to the same corner. Takes the opening point, 3 more points to go. EJ took 3 out of the 4 points in round 1.
10-11.
Chance to tie it here for DC. That's too good. Keeps it out front, away from his body, punches it to the open corner. Doesn't get much better than that for Dekel Bar. Tie game, 11 apiece. DC back alive in game number 5.
Dekel Bar recovering nicely, just pressuring AJ just enough to push it wide.
12-11.
Ooh, just wide, and 4-0, a sweep for Dekel Bar to put his team back on top by 2. Rachel Rohrabacher out against Catherine Parenteau. Last round they split. We'll see what happens here. Rachel Rohrabacher takes the first. She has such an innate ability to find the corners.
14-11.
Just wide for Rohrabacher, so Catherine Parenteau will get back a point.
12-14.
Inside out and a beauty for Rachel Rohrabacher. 2 points to 1.
15-12.
Deep on the return. 3-1 is the split for Rachel Rohrabacher. DC, 1 step closer. 4 more points. Vivian Glozman out again against Jade Kawamoto.
16-12.
That's deep for Jade. Vivian off the hook for the first point.
17-12.
And the Mad Drops were leading, and it has taken quite the turn.
2 more points to go. Timeout. Thought was called, never mind.
18-12.
Glozman covers the kitchen beautifully. 3-0 lead, and chance to get the sweep and put her team in the closing stretch. 19-12. DC needs 2. It wouldn't be Glozman to close it out. It could be James Ignatowich. Glozman with a chance to earn the match point. Up 3-0 right now on Jade Kawamoto. And at this point in the season, Yates, takes a lot to dig deep for these athletes who are at this point in the season. There's still so much meaningful pickleball left, but you have to find it. You have to find your energy. You have to find your legs. What's your strategy in the busyness as you're trying to recover yourself?
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's a long season, a lot of matches, a lot of playing, a lot of travel. But, you know, you just have to kind of find that last bit of energy to finish it off. Everyone's competitive out here. No one likes to lose, so still playing hard.
Vivian Glozman gets the sweep and a match point for DC. Hunter Johnson with all the pressure on his side. James Ignatowich needs 1, and he has to win on a serve. And he will. DC takes it in a dream breaker, 21-12, and they had to gut this one out, but it was rewarding because it solidified the DC Pickleball team into the playoffs that begin next Friday. Team, we learned what they were made of here in Miami. A dream breaker win against the LA Mad Drops. Michelle McMahon and Yates Johnson here in the booth, and that win secured a playoff spot for the DC Pickleball team. James Ignatowich and Dekel Bar join us now to talk about it. Dekel, I know it's been a very long season for you guys, but this team takes a lot of pride in playing for a great ownership group and making sure this team made it to the playoffs. How relieving is it to know that you guys are in the top 6?
Yeah, for sure. Like you said, we have a great ownership, great team all around us. So yeah, this means a lot, just securing the playoff and knowing we have a really strong team and we can beat any team there.
Yes, you can. James Ignatowich, what's up? You've had quite the singles career. That's kind of stepped to the side. We all know you're very capable. What are you kind of thinking out there when you get into a Dream Breaker? Are you excited? Are you happy? What are you thinking?
That's a great question, Yates. Actually, what I was thinking of was when we played each other 2022 semis.
I knew you were going to say this.
And I think I got the dub, so I just, by the way, the guy interviewing me is Hunter's twin. So I just imagined it was Yates, and I was like, oh, I beat this guy, because I've actually never beat Hunter. So I just pretended it was you, and I felt really confident.
Yeah, we're all happy that you're not in singles anymore on the tour.
No. I mean, if I played singles right now against Hunter, I think I'd lose probably like 4-4. I think he's definitely playing so well.
Well,
so.
Yates appreciates the roast for sure. Thanks for that, James. And Dekel, as you guys look ahead to close out the rest of the event, what continues to motivate this group to get yourself in playoff shape?
Yeah, for sure. Every win gives us more confidence, more motivation, and better feel for the playoff. Plus, we're fighting for some different spots for different seeding. So, yeah, 2 more matches ahead, and we'll give it our best.
Absolutely. Well, the DC Pickleball team into the playoffs. Congratulations, guys. That was a fun one. Coming up next, it's a border battle. The New Jersey Fives and Annalee Waters taking on Jack Sock and the New York Hustlers. It's a matchup you do not want to miss. We are only getting the party started here from Miami. Stay with us.